Bloopers on. Wait for the red stuff. That's the good red stuff there.
An EA representative said that whenever possible, they will reincorporate the former members into the studies.
Studies.
Studies?
Sorry,
Studies?
studios.
What the hell?
Studios.
They will reincorporate the members. Greater interest. There we are. Already, not even 2 words. I'm already messing up.
Woo.
Greater interest than expected was poured into the cell of many.
There we go. Now say something.
Stuff.
Awesome. Okay. Alright, and I don't have a timer on these. So anything else you guys want to talk about before we get into game news?
You know, there's something that Minecraft never gave us that they told all the alpha players they'd be getting. We never got our cape. I never got the cape, and I remember him specifically promising we would get a cape for being alpha players.
What does a cape do?
Nothing.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It is literally just a e-penis. That is all it is.
And since most people...
I was an alpha player.
And most people play in first person anyway, so the only people going to be seeing it is if you're on multiplayer in a server.
Mm-hmm. You don't need to see it because Minecraft.
I think it's up to about 20.
$34.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, well, I think it was, or maybe lowered it because it was. Some people were like, "That's kind of high," and it's like, "No, it isn't. Not. You're gonna get thousands of hours into this game. That is dirt cheap."
And it's one of the few games that's that old that's still getting updated. Matter of fact, there's a huge update coming up with a whole bunch of stuff. It's like 6 new biomes.
Yeah, all kinds of crazy stuff. And you mentioned that those simulation games. Is Train Simulation gonna be part of those?
Yeah, and Farm Simulator.
in Farm Simulator, Train Simulator.
I think it's 2011.
You should be prepared to pay thousands of dollars for all the DLC.
Yeah, I've seen those.
I think it's like $15,000 to get all the DLC for that game.
But it's also kind of one of those pick what you want. Don't try to collect everything unless you're crazy.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's just you can build unbelievable, train stations and everything with that game. So it's not something like not worth it. It's insanity.
If it wasn't my finances being really awful right now.
It's the eve of simulation games.
Oh no. Yeah, if it wasn't for my finances being a little crappy right now, I would be getting a lot more of these bundles. But I'm trying to behave. I still did pick up one yesterday, but I'm trying to behave.
I know.
I need to.
Christmas is coming.
I'm avoiding the Worms one. I kind of want it, but at the same time, they're so multiplayer centered. And how long have we had Castle Crashers? We've never played it together.
Yeah, that's we need to do that.
Yeah, we do need to do that.
When we do.
I played it a couple times. It's just so many games, so many damn games. Tiger will not only be no longer on the cover or have his name on shout out, he won't be in any EA game. He won't be in any EA game whatsoever.
I have to wonder. I heard about this recently. Is it was a top 10 list, and this is getting edited out of the worst. What do they call it? Everywhere but Shyamalan, M. Night Shyamalan. Twists! Worst twists in video games, and they actually claimed World of Warcraft is one of them, and I was thinking, how the heck does World of Warcraft has a twist ending that didn't make any sense? And then went on to say, because they're trying to promote it so heavily to China, that is largely the reason why the Pandarians were heavily involved in the expansion, and apparently a lot of the undead stuff was taken out because the Chinese have things against bones and skeletons and such. Is that true?
No.
Okay.
Well, Pandaren have been in Warcraft.
Well, I know they have
3.
been, but they've never been a focus by any means. I mean, I don't see a problem with them being in there, but the thing about the undead being kind of altered to be more, I don't know, culturally friendly? Did you see any of that?
No.
Okay.
It doesn't seem that way to me. I mean, everything is done in... World of Warcraft has an artistic style. The disproportionate features, like really, really big arms and tiny heads or huge feet, that kind of stuff. There were some characters that looked different in the original alpha and beta builds of the games, but people complained. Notably was the troll. The troll female looked a lot different than it does today, and people complained that nobody played Horde. None of the girls did because Horde didn't have a pretty race. So they made Blood Elves weren't originally part of the game.
Yeah.
But they made troll females look a little bit more natural, more I guess you could use the word attractive. And
see, I would have thought it would be the other way around. The guys were complaining that they were too ugly. No. That's actually interesting.
Yeah, it was the guys were complaining. Well, it was the guys complaining that girls weren't playing Horde because there were no attractive races.
Okay, so that may have been an excuse. For some of them, anyway. I'm sure there's talk to it.
Yeah, I'm sure for some it was, yeah. But anymore, I mean, the undead haven't changed since the original beta. I mean, they look the same as they always have. I played in the beta, and I had an undead. So, I mean, unless this was something like, oh, we're one day going to market this to China, so we should be really careful.
No, this is supposed to be something that happened during the Mists of Pandarian, and that's been over a year now. So, if it was going to be in there, it's in there. So, I guess they were just taking things the wrong way, probably. Just something I read this week, and I thought I'd better get some clarification on it. Maybe turn this into an outtake, but
it doesn't sound real accurate to me. I mean, I'm not part of any development team or any development decisions or really even know anybody that are, so...
Did they talk about Titan at all?
No.
I didn't hear anything about it myself, but...
I was expecting something from Titan this year until, we all found out that they had completely scrapped it and started over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'll put a dent in plans pretty quick.
Yeah, so people are saying that it's was it Blackthorn? Yeah. They're guessing that it's going to be a Blackthorn, something to do with Blackthorn, because they just recently re-released the Classic, which you can get at Battle.net. So if you want to get Blackthorn, it's free to play now on the PC.
Cool.
It's one of Blizzard's original Super Nintendo games, so have at it, y'all.
It's kind of like Flashback and Out of This World for those that remember those games. A little more action-y, I think. There's a lot more shotgunning and stuff in that one, but, kind of a similar game.
Yeah, I actually did download it, and I did try to play it, but I could not figure out what the hell I was doing, so I kind of gave up.
Watch Titan actually be a gigantic MMO that's really just Lost Vikings 3.
Well, the original rumor was that it was an MMO. It was a first-person shooter MMO, and so I'm guessing that's where a lot of people also got the Blackthorn idea too. So, but I don't think it's gonna. I mean, I say I don't think it is, but it could be. All I know is that they said it's not going to have. It's a brand new IP, and since Blackthorn's not exactly a new IP, I don't think it's going to be Blackthorn.
It's a niche win at that too. That's why I don't think it has anything to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, they could redesign it to be like how they redesigned Warcraft to be an MMO instead of an RTS.
And there could be some cameo stuff in there. They're good at that.
I am interested in Heroes of the Storm a bit more than I was. I'm not very good at League of Legends. I can't get around the whole, you have to have this item, and this item, unless they're this character, and then you need to do this item, this item, this item. It's way too technical, way too complicated for me, and the games take so long. Mm-hmm. And there's not really a place to learn because their community is so incredibly toxic that it's just not welcoming. So
and they put so little time in any kind of practice mode or bot mode. So
yeah, I mean there are ways to play against the AI, but it's a completely different game because the AI does the same thing every time. You just can't learn how to go against certain things when you play against the AI because of the way that the AI is programmed.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of what's wrong with Awesome Knots. Same basic concept there.
Yeah. It's just, and like I said, the community is so bad that I'm a little worried for Heroes of the Storm. I'm not saying I don't want League of Legends players to play it, because there are just as many good League of Legends players as there are, toxic ones. But the toxic ones are the ones that you run into the most because there's just so many. WoW is a fairly toxic community as well. When you do something beyond your guild, like you try to run a pickup group or a LFR, that's where you're going to end up seeing most of the problem people.
I don't think you can have a successful game without a lot of problems.
Yeah.
They're all over Halo, they're all over Call of Duty, they're all over Team Fortress, they're all over Left 4 Dead. You just can't have a successful multiplayer game without bad people.
Filthy pubs.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that the anonymity of all of it just encourages that kind of behavior.
Maybe that's why Microsoft's pushing so hard to put everybody's real names out there.
It could be. I'm not really for that, but I can see the advantages of it, which is, I think, why Blizzard was going to have Real ID posts on their forums originally, was to encourage that kind of responsibility. Mm-hmm. But people weren't. They were like, no, we don't want that. So instead of showing your real name now, which I think was kind of a dumb thing, privacy reasons aside, you're able to look at a person's alts from their forum characters. So that kind of encourages the same thing without the whole privacy issue.
Which, oddly enough, is how Second Life has done it almost from the beginning, I think. and speaking of that, there's been no... I hope I'm not segueing too early here for you, but